Well, hey, listen, I know you and I have communicated online a bit, and I've been observing all the stuff you're doing with Titan Theater, which is, I'm really, by the way, can you hear me okay? I'm using this new headphone
Yeah, I can
system.
hear you perfectly. If you can hear me and see me, I can hear you and see you. So
Sounds good. Yeah, no, it's I've been running this, New York Shakespeare social media thing for a couple of years now.
hmm
And one of the names that I consistently see doing a lot of stuff, and a lot of cool stuff, is you guys with the Titan Theater. And in the current day and age right now, and we'll circle back to that. I just want to introduce the topic, and we'll come back to it in a bit. In
hmm
the current day and age where we have, the coronavirus, and Broadway shut down, and so many
yeah,
companies are scrapping their productions or canceling rehearsals or whatever. A lot of companies are just wait and see mode, and you guys are on like full on attack. You're firing on all cylinders.
yeah, yeah. Some might call that mental illness on my part, but we were in production for Romeo and Juliet. We canceled that and postponed it into our next season.
Hmm.
I run a theater company in Holland, Michigan. Over the summer, we canceled that entire season. That won't be.
The company, right?
Yeah, Hope Rep. We
Mhm.
canceled that as well. So I've canceled 2 seasons, and Hope Rep unemployed like 150 people that just pop into that town. That we
Wow.
did some payouts and things like that. So there for a while there, it was pretty rough, and we could kind of see the writing on the wall. But we canceled Romeo and Juliet on a Thursday. It was about 5 days before the quarantine started,
Hmm.
because the quarantine came fast. It was really quick. We had a week of rehearsal, and we were just washing our hands, and nobody was kissing yet, and Romeo and Juliet and things like
Right.
that. But then we kind of saw it coming, and we canceled on Thursday, had a leadership meeting on Friday, and out of that came Shakespeare Online,
Hmm.
which was this idea of continuing to have at least educational program, because we have a student tour too that got postponed. And that was what was really heartbreaking, is that 1,000 kids weren't going to be able to see Shakespeare between our student matinees and our touring productions. So we see roughly about 1,000 to 1,200 kids.
Talk to me about that. Let's pause for a second. So
Yeah.
the touring productions you do for the kids, tell me about that. Where you, I know you guys are based in Queens, but
Yeah.
where does that touring happen?
So what we started a couple years ago is called Shakespeare on Demand, which
Hmm.
is a touring production where schools can say, hey, we're studying Twelfth Night, or we're studying Romeo and Juliet. It was a big year this year because everybody studies Romeo and Juliet.
Right.
And so they let us know what plays they're doing, because, we're a 100-seat house. We can't fit a lot of schools in, so we turn away a lot of people for the student matinee.
Right.
So to compensate for that, we've started a student tour where we go to the schools, and we do it for free.
Amazing.
And we cater to their needs. So if they're studying a certain play, we'll do that play for them.
And you're
So that's how
traveling
that started.
within Queens or around the city?
Yeah, within Queens. We're primarily with that in Queens.
Hmm.
Manhattan and Brooklyn are starting to call, or they were starting to call. Nobody's
Before
calling
this
right
all
now.
happened, right?
Yeah, so that's how that started. So Shakespeare on Demand and the main stage season were canceled, obviously.
Hmm.
And then Shakespeare Online started, because we knew that a lot of teachers are going to be talking and teaching the way you and I are today.
Right.
And how do you fill that time, with interesting things?
Hmm.
Because it is a medium that isn't intimate, that you can't, it's hard to wrangle in programming and go, hey, stop talking, or put your video back on so I know you're paying attention.
Right.
So I thought, there's going to be a lot of movie days. And so rather than movie days, which we all got excited about when we were in school, I was like, what about a Shakespeare day? So the idea was to record some readings with our Shakespeare on Demand folk, and be able to provide that along with talks with the actors. And that's where that started. Then it turned into classes that people started taking. So that blew up there. That was supposed to be it. We were supposed to be done.
Okay.
We were going to do classes and a couple, like 1 or 2 readings. I think Queen's Library called, and we're partnering with them. and that's not Shakespeare. We're doing contemporary plays for them.
Okay.
So yeah, we're doing that. And then I saw all the Shakespeare festivals closing, and that's where I cut my teeth, and half our company cut their teeth.
Right.
Was, at Utah, at Oregon, at Texas Shakes, Illinois Shakes, all the Shakespeare festivals you can think of that aren't producing.
Right.
And I'll never forget, I was talking to my managing director, and I was like, what if we do an online Shakespeare festival? I mean, we were going to do the readings anyway.
Right.
So we can recreate the experience. Like, we'll make, like, Shakespeare in the Park. You have to get your tickets beforehand, or you can wait in line. There's only a limited amount. The shows will run in rep.
Right.
All these things to kind of simulate something of normalcy in this really not normal time. And then everybody said, yeah. And here we are. And we thought it was going to be a small thing. We thought it was going to be a small thing, and it would be low pressure, and we would do some live readings. And then we threw the press release out, and Broadway On Demand called, and now we're partnering up with them. So now Texas Shakes, because it has the same acronym, Titan Shakespeare Festival is going to be on Broadway On Demand.
So for those who don't know, why don't you tell us about Broadway On Demand and what that means for your company?
Yeah. So Broadway On Demand is what Broadway is doing right now to provide content. Some of it is pre-recorded archival, some of it is classes, some of it is like, quote unquote TV shows. And they saw the online festival, through a connection and through the press release, and they called and said, what do you think about throwing that up here? And I said, is it going to get a lot of people to see Shakespeare? And they said, we sure hope so. And I said, sign me up.
That's it.
So, yeah, they'll be covering all our opening nights. We'll be doing things still through our site. We'll be doing more programming after that. Hopefully, we don't know when this is going to end, but hopefully it's soon. And what the new normal will be after that, we don't know.
I think that's the general thing we're all grappling with, what the new normal is going to be and when that's going to be defined. None of us really know.
Exactly, we don't. And I think the big mission for us, there's a lot of things I think about now as we're kind of in it and we're prepping to open next week, and it's chaotic. But the really great thing is it's Zoom readings. Like, it's not TV quality. It's not, a live performance. It's not theater. But we can't just stop. We have to be, and maybe nobody even tunes in. Who knows? Maybe nobody wants to sit and watch Ernest. Maybe nobody wants to sit and watch Midsummer. And that's fine. But right now, I have a company of 30 people who are paying, who are really excited just to be doing something and feeling a sense of community, because we can't touch each other. But I'm seeing faces that I haven't seen in years because they live in California, and I'm not going to job them in New York, but there they are, and they're in the play. My mom and so many other moms were like, I get to see you perform. And I'm like, you ain't seeing me, I'm directing them all. But because I would not do that to anybody right now until I learn Zoom a little bit better. But we're doing, fun things with Zoom tricks and things like that. But yeah, we're really pushing because I just refuse to sit and wait. We have to keep doing stuff.
And the old adage is, the show must go on, and that's the case with you guys. And many people are doing something, they're doing a reading, they're doing something, but to do a full-on production of multiple shows and repertoire as part of a festival, that's a very, very ambitious undertaking as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, ambitious, yeah.
I come from that world where I was very involved in the theater scene in the city, maybe in like the 2000s to 2010 thereabouts, and I did a lot of festivals. I did a lot of Shakespeare up and downtown, and the festival circuit itself is a beast unto itself, and it's a lot of moving parts and a lot of things happening. So for you guys to be doing that, taking that concept and applying it to the current Zoom era, I think it's amazing idea, and I'm really curious to see how that's going to pan out. So what shows do you have coming up as part of the festival?
Yeah, so we're going to run, so it was like all the Shakespeare festivals, it's Shakespeare heavy, but not all Shakespeare. So we're doing The Importance of Being Earnest. We're doing Midsummer Night's Dream. We want people to be able to laugh. That's a big thing right now, and ones that are popular. And then we're doing Henry V, which is terrifying to even consider doing that as a Zoom reading. But we're going to try Henry V and see how it goes. It's my favorite Shakespeare play. Midsummer, for obvious reasons. It's a fantastic comedy that we all love and are familiar with. And then Ernest, I think, is one of the most beautifully funny plays ever written. Oscar Wilde's a genius. So I just didn't want to provide just Shakespeare. I wanted it to feel like a festival. I tried to throw a musical in there, and then my managing director said no.
There's only
somebody finally said no.
Right. But let me backtrack. You mentioned that of the three that you're doing, Henry V is a personal favorite of yours. How did that come to be one of your favorites? Or
how has Henry V become? Well, I thought it was fitting because to do that play, because I knew I just didn't want to do comedies. I still want to challenge people. I still want, the mission doesn't stop just because the world kind of has. So I wanted to do one. I wasn't going to do Titus Andronicus or anything really dark like that. But I wanted to do something, within that realm that wasn't a comedy. And I just thought, oh, for a Muse of Fire. And that whole monologue is about, imagination and imagining what you can do. And normally we're like, can you cram within this wooden the globe, and then we still do it now? Can we hold the vasty fields of France? Well, we're going to find out if we can do that in Zoom. And that monologue was the reason for us to do it.
Okay, so you hit on something that for me is something I'm really curious about. I've seen a number in this quarantine period that we're in right now. I've seen a good number of different readings on Zoom, and a couple of different teleconference apps. Zoom being the one that's kind of in vogue right now.
Yeah.
And, it is what it is. It's a great way to see a lot of people within your screen, but it has its limitations. So what are you guys doing in terms of staging? Is there any staging, or is it just is it an on-book reading, or is it a full-on performance?
It is an on-book reading. They're extremely familiar. We are doing 2 cameras, so there's 2 options to see. So there's going to be some cutting and screen sharing and things like that. To help with the Zoom tricks. You're right, because that was my main concern too, from a non-artistic standpoint. God bless everything that's coming out right now. I love it, all the podcasts and watching celebrities get drunk and do monologues and things like that. But at the end of the day, we're not a group of celebrities. We're a group of actors, and I wanted to make sure that we could provide quality content. And the best way we could. So the tech part of it was really important to me. So we souped up in my apartment. It looks like I'm flying a spaceship when I'm directing. We have all these things going. I have the script on one screen and another screen here with the gallery view and the conversation screen over here. Right. Trying to figure out how we're going to do this and what looks we want and all this stuff. And then we're going to try and put it all together so it's somewhat seamless. Some people's equipment is better and some people's isn't. Some people have ring lights and all the things they need for self-taping. And some people are in their basements. I asked them to hang a white sheet. That was the only requirement. If you can get it. And some
the requirement?
the white sheet. You got to hang a white sheet behind you.